What's going on, guys? This is Kaisha. Welcome back. So we're back to another video. So in this video we're going to cover OCG Metagame Report and deck list reviews for the past week. We do have October 25 to November 2. So we are going to cover the Post Suda or Post Supreme Darkness that was recently released last week in the OCG region. So we are going to cover tournament results and deck lists from Southeast Asian regions, namely Philippines, Indonesia, Taiwan, Malaysia, Vietnam, Singapore, and we are going to see the impact of Suda in the smaller regions in Asia. So without further ado, let's start. So starting off first, we do have Yu-Gi-Oh! Gapo, Zambales tournament. We do have Rallion, Kaseha, Labyrinth as the champion of the tournament. So more trap-oriented version of Labyrinth now. It played bunch of high-impact traps like the Barrier and Ice Dragon Prison, of course. And yeah, it also played a very streamlined extra deck with Unchained Monsters, with the Yama and such, and triple Macracker with double Typhoon and triple uh, Synchro of the Case Angel. And next would be our friend from Kaido Willis, Bob, with his Melodious. So he has been playing the deck for a very long time now, and it is proving that Melodious is still a decent deck right now. I do believe that the deck has a very spacious main deck. You have a lot of ways to slot in a bunch of cards that may help you and be more flexible or innovative in your deck building tendencies on this build. Like on this build, it's playing Small World, no? Triple Small World, and also play double Veiler and double Fualos. And they also have a bunch of tournament results from the previous dates, but we are only going to cover the post-Suda. That's why we only opted to browse the October 31 tournament from Yu-Gi-Oh! Gapo. And next would be Order of the Duelist and Albay. Shoutouts to our Albay friends here. And I would also like to take this opportunity to send my utmost respect and prayers for them because the Bicol region was severely hit by the previous typhoon in the Philippines, which is the Typhoon Christine, and it ravaged a lot of properties and it took lives in Bicol region and also in Albay. So huge prayers for them, and it is very reassuring and very warm to see them having tournaments even after that very traumatic experience and powerful typhoon. So starting off, we do have Oda, Order, Duels, and Albay. We do have the first place, Angelo James, Blue Eyes, no? So Blue Eyes still very relevant, even though it lost some numbers on the previous 2-3 weeks. Yeah, I believe they have lost major numbers, but they're still very viable and still very strong, no? I cannot deny that. And next would be Carl Joshua, Gimmick Puppet, no? So Gimmick Puppet should be addressed by the upcoming ban list this January, probably late December. But yeah, Gimmick Puppet definitely steals a lot of games in the meta right now. And next would be Mel Voices Voice, very household deck in the Philippines. Voices Voice is a deck that is heavily patronized in the Philippines. And next would be Patrick Burton, branded, no? 40, oh, 60 card branded. It also played the Trust, and you're also going to have the Gimmick Puppet. Oh my god, it has also a Gimmick Puppet lock. And yeah, moving on, we do have Dueling Nexus in Malaysia, if I'm not mistaken. We do have Eson, champion of the tournament with Ryzel. Pretty standard, it play double field spell into the main deck and also play double Purulia and double Fualos with triple Veiler. And he also opted to play the double talent and double desire. So he is not playing 7 Tachyon. Yeah, he's not playing the 7 Tachyon. I was wondering why the Veiler and Droll and the Fualos cards and even played Desires and Talent have fit in into the deck, no? But it turns out that he's not even playing the 7 Tachyon. Very good budget alternative. If you don't want to spend ridiculous amounts of money for the 7 Tachyon, you could potentially copy this deck list and do really well, like his performance here. Next would be Boon Sheng with, oh, Zodiac Dogmatica. Wow, this is spicy. So you're probably going to get draw from the Garura, from the Nadir Dump. You're also able to get Ecclesia, and you're also going to special summon Ecclesia and get Fleur de Lis. And you have like plus 3 in a single Nadir, no? But it is also quite tricky to play because you're also going to have access towards the Dogmatic Punishment. So it is more of a controlled version of Zodiac. So yeah, huge props to him for tapping with this very unconventional deck. Next would be Harry. Voices voice Tachyon. Oh my goodness. Voices voice Tachyon. This is very early. I didn't anticipate that we're going to have a very spicy list very early on in this report. And it's playing Tachyon, so it improves the going second of Voices voice. Even though the deck struggles going second, you have Tachyon to OTK and possibly wipe the board of your opponent, no? Next would be Bang, Voices voice, another Voices voice. The picture was very pixelated, it hurts my eyes, but yeah, we could see the gist of his deck list. It is playing one Nibiru double Super Poly. Oh, Super Poly, no? We have seen like 3 decks that are playing Super Poly early on our report, no? So Super Poly, very interesting to see whether Super Poly can be a mainstay on the main deck or just a flavor of the month, no? Next would be Dueling Nexus, once again, another tournament from them. We do have Aaron as the champion of the tournament. It played Marinces. Yeah, he played Marinces. So with Marinces, you're able to play a bunch of fun traps like this Triple Veiler, Double Ogre, One Roll, and bunch of really good extenders like it is playing Ice Jade extenders, no? So it is very spacious. And next would be Bang. So same this as earlier, I believe. And next would be Linus. Ryzil once again. No 7th once again. Oh my goodness, no 7th. Another Ryzil without 7th Tachyon. Oh my goodness, this is crazy. And it is also playing the Ptolemy, Luck, the Teller Knights shenanigans, skip turn. Oh my goodness, this is ridiculous. Yeah, this is ridiculous. This is crazy. Next would be Nichols, Goblin Biker, of course, very solid deck when you want to answer the Ryzel matchup. Probably the Goblin Bikers is one of the best decks to play. And moving on next, the Yu-Gi-Oh! Davao Mindanao Gaming, top 2 of the tournament with the Goblin Biker once again. So Goblin Biker, it is proving to be Goblin Biker is one of the most essential decks that could play to answer the meta game right now. And it could be really successful if you know that Ryzel will be pragmatic on your locals or environment, no? Next would be Malice. So first Malice in our report, no? If I'm not mistaken. Very expensive right now. That's why people in smaller regions don't really invest too much into the deck. And if they want to spend money, they would rather go with Ryzil. But it doesn't take away anything from Malice. Malice is arguably the second best deck to play right now. It is just falling behind a little bit after the Malice dominance. But if you want to play the second best deck in the format right now, you could never go wrong with Malice. From Adrian Gabeltan, second place, Malice deck list. Moving on next, we do have another Yu-Gi-Oh! Davao Mindanao Gaming. I believe this is from Tagum. Yeah, Robinson's Tagum. Shoutouts to our friends in Mindanao. We have Alfred Zamora, Scarecrow, Smith, Jubel. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Jubel is still doing it, but this time with Scarecrow, no? Interesting. Interesting choice. Yeah. He's the master of Scarecrow. Even he is sleeping, he could probably play the deck if he wants to. And he just has a phenomenal mastery over the Scarecrow. And I cannot really question his options or take on the deck because he's been playing the deck since day one. And next would be Prime Cruise, Thunder, Finsmith, Horus. Wow, this is looking to be very stuffed and quite tight. Yeah, probably very tight. You are playing Finsmith in a very combusted Thunder Dragon core and you're also playing Horus. But it works, no? Because the engines has synergy and it paves the way for another engine. It complements the Thunder Dragon archetype as a whole, no? From the dump, from the discard, all of those stuff on this deck. But of course, Beatrice is banned, so you would want to find another ways to make it work. Next, we do have Yu-Gi-Oh! Metagame Malang in Indonesia. Champion would be Fire King, Azamina. Probably this is one of the best ways to play Snake Eyes right now, you just mash in Parking Cards, Karunix, Phonix, Arvata, and you splash out the Azamina cards, and you're probably good to go. Next would be runner-up, Tenpai Dragon. First, yeah, first Tenpai Dragon in our report. This is surprising. Probably we're going to see more Tenpai Dragon like this in our report, but for now, it is only the first Tenpai Dragon. And also played Blaster, no? From the Gold Sark Banish. Next would be another Voices Voice. Bunch of Voices Voice. This time it is playing the Angel State You Wow. So we are also going to go into the top hut and set the Angel State You on your disposal. Yeah, interesting choice. You would rather go with Angel State You, even though you also have the Sauravis. Interesting choice. Next would be fourth place, Goblin Biker, Finsmith, once again. And yeah, pretty standard decklist from Nidzam, Fikri. Next would be Time Walk, a tournament in Indonesia. First would be Gimmick Puppet, of course, FTK Shenanigans. Next would be Manidium, oh my goodness, Manidium. Manidium in 2024, yeah. He's also playing Prohibition, no? We're probably going to declare something like Droll Nibiru, for example, no? And next would be Malice once again. Play Double Shifter, yeah. People in Japan don't really fancy playing Shifter that much because the Ryzel and Malice can play around it effectively. But when you're living in Southeast Asia, there's still a bunch of Snake Eyes and other graveyard heavy decks, and you're probably going to use Shifter to nullify them. And Shifter is a wise choice in Southeast Asian regions. And next would be, what is this, Goblin Biker, yeah? With a large Speedroid engine. And moving on, we do have any member duelist tournament. First would be Atlantean Mermaid. Oh, so this is the first mermaid that we have seen in quite some time. Yeah, I believe. But it is still okay. The deck is still explosive enough and has more gas than any other rogue decks right now. And next would be EXO. Of course, EXO sister with 777. So you're also going to benefit from 7 because you're also a rank 4 deck and you're probably going to do the Ryzel but more intricate, more lesser punishing, and also more specific on answering the graveyard. And next would be Whitewoods Azamina. So it is playing the new Azamina and Whitewood support. And it is probably one of the decks to look out for because the deck is really new. It is very fresh. People don't know what to do against the deck. Even myself doesn't really know how to properly stop the deck, and we're also going to struggle on this deck because it is very explosive, and sometimes once it keeps on rolling, it doesn't stop. Yeah, it doesn't stop. I wonder what will the Whitewoods turn out, and Azamina will complement it furthermore, no? But yeah, we're going to see whether people will invest on the deck. And moving on next, we do have Rogue's Passage in Pampanga. I believe this is from Pampanga. Shoutouts to our Kamampangan friends here with the Halloween theme tournament Spectacular 2024 in Clark, Pampanga. We do have our friend from Kaido tabletop community, Joshua Corian, as the champion of the tournament. Very, very spicy looking Ryzel. It played the Shark engine and it bolsters the rank 4 plays of the deck, and you have more tools to interrupt the opponent and also be more resilient, no? The only downside is you're playing a bit of two lesser important cards, but it's still worth the risk because it enables you to be more aggressive and also more resilient at the same time, no? So really interesting stuff here from Joshua. Next would be Avril, Blue Eyes. So it played. Oh, it didn't play Nagya. Yeah, this is probably the most popular way to play Blue Eyes in Japan. They're not even playing Magia, but I do believe that Magia is still important in the deck, but you could play without it, and it proves to be very effective. Like from Avril, he went second place on this tournament, a very large tournament and full of competitive players from Pampanga and a bunch of players that traveled from far away lands. Next we do have Ryzel once again, double Small World, and double 7. It also played Dagda in the main deck. Wow, interesting choice. Next would be Leo, Labyrinth. So, pretty standard, play triple Solemn Strike, and double Dogmatica Punishment. And also one Torrential Tribute in the side deck. And moving on next, we do have Dueling Cards ITS Foreign Language Society Tournament. We do have first place Standby Dragon. So it played the trap card, no? Interesting choice. So trap card enables you to skip the main phase of your opponent, and you're probably going to destroy them the next turn. Next would be Salam Melodious. Our second Melodious in our report now. Interesting. This time more standard. It didn't even play Small World. Next would be Azrael Mementotlan. Played the Cyframe package in the main deck. And next would be Parking Tri Brigade. Wow. Parking Tri Brigade. No Wazamina and no Snake Eyes. Yeah. Just pure BBW or Beast Wing Beast Warrior synergy between the Parking and Tri Brigade. And moving on next, we do have Yu-Gi-Oh! Manado Community weekly tournament. First would be uh what is this? Oh, Ryzel, yeah. It played double talent and double ogre. Ogre, very effective on the mirror match and possibly other uh tiered meta decks like Runic, for example, no, or Voices Voice. And next would be Henry, branded 40 card. Oh, 40. Is it 40? Oh, it is playing 60, yeah. 60 branded. And also played the new fusions from the Tistina or Ascent. I'm not really sure. But the new fusion from WPP. And next would be Ryzel once again from Renner. Triple droplet. Mainstay probably into the main deck of Ryzel. Next would be Ancient Gear. Wow. Triple Santa Claus and one Lava Golem. Wow. Spicy. Yeah, this is really spicy. And also play Dogwood, no? Fourth would be Super Heavy. I always mistakenly say that the Six Samurai, Super Hero Samurai. But yeah, Six Sam, si Team Sam with Six Samurai. And also play the new Mulcharmy card. Wow. The cat Mulcharmy. And it was 3 times. It is playing max copies on the side deck. Wow. Interesting from Andreas. And moving on, we do have Yu-Gi-Oh! Manado Community once again tournament from their locals. We do have first Geraldi Malis. So played Saronir in the main deck and double Exceed. Probably ways to extend, yeah, potentially. And next would be Branded once again. So we have like 3, 4 Brandeds already in our part now. And next would be Renner, Ryzel, same people from earlier. And fourth would be Lons. Purely, wow, purely with evenly matched in the main deck because you're playing 3 trust, so you're going to fetch the talent and evenly match on this deck. And yeah, moving on, we do have top 4 of Yu-Gi-Oh! Tulungagung Yuto tournament. Champion is Malice once again, bunch of Malice in our report, no? So I might be wrong because we have seen a lot of Malice in our report and the deck is very expensive. But people will invest on this very new, very fresh, and the art is also phenomenal on this deck. So yeah, there's an argument where people will invest that much money for playing decks like something like Malice, no? And next would be runner-up Ice Barrier, Ice Jade. So it is playing Ice Jade cards, no? To extend further the explosiveness of Ice Barrier. And next would be White Forest Toy Centurion. So it is playing the new, yeah, it is playing the new Whitewoods cards and also played the Toy Box because you complement the Centurion and Whitewoods when you're playing Toy Box. And fourth would be Henglong, White Forest once again. So it is playing the new support as well and Triple Chicken Game. Wow, probably a way to boost the consistency of Whitewoods. White Forest Toy, interesting choice. And next would be Kedri Yu-Gi-Oh! Tournament. First would be Yaslam, Dragon Link, Yas, 50 card. Not too shabby, quite expensive, but not over the top. Next would be we do have Ryzel from Caesar. Triple droplet once again. Probably to cure the weak going second for Ryzel. Next would be Hakim. What the freak is this? Oh, voices voice. Ryuge. Yeah, it's even playing one summon limit in the main deck and also played double called by the grave, no? And next would be fourth place Alzina. So Mementotlan and it is playing double Cosmic Cyclone. And it also played double Anti-Spell Fragrance now, probably a way to protect his going first board because you could also be fragile on some board breakers on this Mementotlan. Next would be Evo Community tournament. Would be Malice once again as a champion. So it is playing Dogwood as well. It's like the second list that are playing Dogwood right now. No? And next would be at Ignister, Matmech. Very old deck, but it's still capable, no? It is like the modern Lyrule Stray Brigade from 2022 that no matter what happens in the meta, it has still representations on the meta game. And next would be Tenpai Dragon, Triple Regeki, Triple Lightning Storm, and it is also playing the Herald of the Abyss, if I'm not mistaken. This is the name of the card here. And next would be Live Twin. Oh my goodness, Live Twin without Twin Smith. Tactical Try at its finest. Oh my goodness. It's not even playing the Foalos and Purulia and also the new Charmy. So just raw Tactical Try with Dagda. Moving on next, we do have Osiris Aduilis Yu-Gi-Oh! Tournament. We do have Ryzel as the champion. Standard, yeah, standard list. Next would be Yubel. Our first Yubel in our part now. It also played the new Link 4 of in the Aobao. I'm not really sure what's the proper name for this card. Aobao. I think that's the name of this card. I'm not sure if the TCG have already rephrased the name of that card, but yeah, Aobao. Very expensive right now. Probably you should definitely cop at least one copy if you don't want to be buried with inflation. And next would be Malice. So Malice, yeah, played evenly matched in the main deck. Quite interesting choice. And Chaos Space, wow. It is playing Chaos Engine in the side deck. Wow, this is crazy. And next would be Aldi. We do have Snake Eyes, of course. The deck never dies. It just got new support and more ways to make the deck work with the White Woods and Azumina support. And moving on next, we do have Ragnarok 2 Wheels, a tournament. We do have Melodious Supreme King. So, Pen, best deck, let's go. Another way to play the Melodious right now with Supreme King ZR. Next would be Goblin Biker, a bunch of Goblin Bikers in our report. And I cannot blame them because Ryzel is all over the place now. So, you just want to answer the Ryzel. And moving on next, we do have KGS Card Shop Tournament. Champion would be Floandris, of course. Double Book of Moon in the main deck. Probably to answer the Imperm Veiler, for example, no? And even Ogre at times. Next would be a card tournament, top 4. We do have Malice once again. Bunch of Malice in our report, probably even tied with Ryzel, no? And next would be Adam, Magical Musket, Finsmith. It played 3, oh, double Foalas and double Purulia, and it even played Kurikara in the side deck. Next would be Ryuge, Voices Voice, Sword Soul. Wow, what abomination is this from Irdan? What the freak? Insanity. Yeah, this is a Madman build. Voices Voice with Sword Soul. It is playing one Taya. And you're not playing Moye. Yeah, he's not playing Moye. It only played Taya with Emergence. And you just throw in Chisho and the Chengning on the side deck, no? With the Basha and Yazi. Wow, this is crazy. Absolute monstrous build from Irdan. Oh, we still have more decks here. We do have Velino, Anachuria Horus. So, yeah, with Millennium Engine as well. And moving on next, we do have Duelist Debate Tournament. Champion would be Chimera Finsmith. It also got buff from the previous support from Suda. Is now better and more explosive, but with the loss of Beatrice, you're also going to struggle that much. Next would be Centurion. First Centurion na our report, no? This time with Primite. And Primite, probably very solid on Centurion. Next would be uh, Ryzel once again with stun. Oh my goodness, it is playing Pachi. So you're going to do your special summon, do the standard line of Ryzel, and just going to drop one Pachi. Because you could also search the Pachi, of course, from the 7 Tachyon. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. This is crazy. Next would be Tenpai Dragon. Double Gold Shark and double Lightning Storm with 2 Twin Twister in the side deck. And moving on, we do have Duel Bacolod tournament. Shoutouts to our friends in Bacolod in Visayas. So we do have Yubel Finsmith as the champion of the tournament, probably. So yeah, Yubel Finsmith still viable, still popular in the Philippines, for example, no? Because why not? You have invested too much money on the Finsmith and Yubel, especially on the Phantom of Yubel, no? So might as well push your luck and still play the deck no matter what happens. And next would be Ryzel. So triple Droplet and triple Small World didn't opt to play 7 Tachyon. Next would be Tenpai Dragon, double Regeki, and double Super Poly in the main deck, and even played Heavy Storm and Duster, no? Interesting. Next would be Vanquish Shoal from Derek. So it played the Metal Morph engine in this. Yeah, it's playing the Metal Morph. Insane. Yeah, this is probably very insane. I can see the lines on this build, and it is really unconventional. Next would be Vanquish Shoal once again from Ed, this time with double Bell in the main deck. Next would be Labyrinth. So with double rollback, still play double rollback. I would like to see this at 1 only, but it is still feasible at 2. Next would be 60 Voices Voice. Oh my goodness. Voices Voice Azumina and Sinful Spoils. And also play triple Upstart, triple Nadir, triple Talent. Oh my goodness. We have a very spicy week here from October. So people are just experimenting whatever they like, no? Yeah, insanity. Next would be Inferno Bell Knight. So more standard build, but this time it played Sinful Spoils as well with the original. And moving on next, we do have Aurorus Yu-Gi-Oh tournament. We do have Mads. So this is a very old friend of mine in the Yu-Gi-Oh community. He's the first one to introduce me in the NCR National Capital Region community. So I'm very thankful to Mads, Sir Mads. So I'm glad that he is still playing Yu-Gi-Oh! And he's still playing Heroes because he's been playing Heroes since 2021, and he's still playing Heroes because it gets support from Suda, no? So why not? You're probably be very delighted that your heroes get more support. And it is looking solid. It played triple Book of Moon. Wow, interesting choice. Next would be Gio, our friend as well. Played Tenpai Dragon, pretty standard. Just played Droplet and Impulse on this build. And third would be John Paul with Melodious. Yeah, Melodious once again, no? Bunch of Melodious in our report this week. And yeah, moving on, we do have Headquarters Hobby Station Tournament. First would be Ryzel. Yeah, standard. Nothing to say too much about this. Next would be another Ryzel, another standard looking list, but it played double shifter in the side deck. And next would be Yubel, Finsmith, triple Purulia, and double Follows in the side deck. And of course, Lancea to answer the Malice. And next would be Centurion, this time with double Kurikara. Wow, Kurikara is seeing some reps, no? Recently in our report. And yeah, moving on, we do have Oasis, a Yu-Gi-Oh tournament. First would be Ryzel once again from Ridwahan. Also played Small World, no? Because you're not playing the 7 Tachyon. Next would be Eevee, Tenpai Dragon. And played Heatwave in the main deck. Wow. It played Heatwave. So you could go first potentially on this build. And next would be Blue Eyes from Raiden. Yeah, played the Magician Souls package. And also the Magia, of course. because you're already playing the Magician Souls. And next would be Izul, FKS Yazamina. So still Kurikara once again. So Kurikara probably a way to just nuke out the board of the Malice and Ryzil right now. But it is rather looking unconventional, yeah. Unconventional and really tricky to pull off. And moving on, yeah, that sums up our OCG Metagame report of Post to the Hours of Supreme Darkness in October 25 to November 2. So, if you found this video informative and helpful, please consider subscribing into my YouTube channel. It definitely motivates me a lot to keep providing this content for you guys. So, once again, thank you for watching. See you in the next one. Peace.